Hi, this is Sweet June coming back at you with another interesting video topic. I hope everybody is doing well today. I hope everybody's day is going great. Um, I'm going through a lot of changes right now. I'm just really frustrated right now. Really, really frustrated. But anyway, I want to talk about welfare dependency. Now I know I did my videos on the stamps, the food stamp cuts and Section 8 cuts, and in some of those comment sections, I was accused of advocating laziness. A lot of the comments that people made was somehow suggesting that I was advocating laziness because I was talking about how these government cuts is going to affect people. I'm simply my point that I'm making is when people need these programs, because let's face facts, all housing costs and everything else is really high. The wages are not going up. So the problem is when wages are not up and everything else is high, then a lot of times people can't afford the basics. When you have a problem with coming up with with your basic necessities, which is shelter and food and shelter expenses, well, that's a problem. When you can't even make the basics, that's the problem. I don't care what nobody say. That's the problem. When you can't even take care of the basics, that's the problem. Having a roof over your head is not a luxury. It's a necessity. We all have to have a roof over our head. We all have to have food to eat to sustain. And when you can't even afford the basics, then that's a problem. And people need help with those things. Even if they're working, they still need help with those things. I'm an advocate of you out here doing the best you can. You have a family. You out here doing the best you can. Um, Everybody is aware of and knows that if somebody is willing to help themselves, then why shouldn't they get help? If they're willing to help themselves, if they're willing to get up and get out here and do the best they can to help themselves and take care of themselves, well, I don't know about you, but I don't mind helping a person that is willing to help themselves. I told my sons, I said, as long as you're getting out here and you're working, and I see you working and you doing the best you can do, and if anything that I'm able to do to help you, I'm going to try to help you as long as I see that you're doing the best that you can and that you're trying. But if you just want to sit up and be lazy and not trying to do anything, then I'm not going to be, motivated to do anything to help you because you're not even trying to help yourself. So that's what I told my sons, I don't mind helping a person that's willing to help themselves, is trying to do things to help themselves. If a person is out here working and they're doing the best they can to survive, then I don't have a problem with helping those people. You know, what's wrong with helping someone that's trying to do everything they can to help themselves, but they're struggling and they're having a hard time? There's nothing wrong with that. But there's nothing wrong with those people getting Section 8, food stamps, anything that they need to help with their basic expenses. If they're out here working and out here doing the best they can, but they're still struggling to meet their basic expenses, there's nothing wrong with them getting a leg up to get some help because they're not being lazy. They're getting up trying to go to work every day. They're doing the best they can. There's nothing wrong with those people getting the help that they need. Now, however, just to straighten the record up, because I know I got a lot of comments as to that effect in those videos. So just to clear the record, I do not advocate welfare dependency. I don't. If you go back and check out my Section 8 video, I titled it Section 8 because there was a clarification video. It was some things that I wanted to clarify because I got accused of, when I did those videos, I got accused of being on the system and sucking the system dry and all this kind of stuff. And so I needed to clarify that I was on Section 8, but I got off of it. So that was the clarification video. So if you get some time, go back and check that video out, titled Section 8. So in that video, I stated that when I started going back to school, my goal was to be self-sufficient, to not be relying on the government for any kind of assistance, being able to take care of everything that I needed to take care of on my own, and be able to um, be financially stable. When I started going back to college, that was my primary goal, is to make myself more marketable, so I can get to a place to where I can be financially stable, and I can buy a house and do all the things that I need to do to take care of me and my family. So to be financially stable, not rich, but financially stable, and to be self-sufficient. It was very important to me. So I do not advocate welfare dependency or complacency because I'm not a complacent person. I never have been. I'm still not. And I know that I'm complacent, but I hate being complacent, if that makes sense. I am in a place of complacency at this particular time, but I hate it. I hate it because I'm not a complacent person. So I always try to figure out what moves I can make, um, what kinds of steps I can take to make changes. And that should be the goal of anybody that is on the welfare system. People that are on welfare and poverty, poverty is a mindset. Poverty, it's a mindset, and it's so easy to, when you're living in poverty, what happens with most people that are living in poverty, they get sucked into a mindset. They get sucked into this mindset that they just, a lot of people just kind of just give up. They just give up. They give up, and they sink into a poverty type mindset. There's two types of poverty mindsets, and there's the mindset of the welfare dependency, when you're in a place where you are relying on the system. You don't want to try to do anything to get off the system. You just kind of want to just stay where you're at because you're getting these resources, and you're getting all these resources, so you don't want to make any changes, because if you make any, you go to work or whatever like that, then you're afraid that your benefits are going to be cut. And if your benefits are going to be cut, then you are you don't you don't know what to do beyond that, to try to survive beyond that. So people get caught up in that mindset. They get sucked into that mindset. And then some people just have an entitlement mindset. They have the mindset of, well, I'm entitled, so to speak, that they feel like they are entitled to receive these benefits, that people should be taking care of them and their children, and they shouldn't have to get out and work and all this stuff. And so you have those people that have that entitlement mentality, that feel like people should be doing these things for them, people should be taking care of them. And you got some single mothers out here with multiple children, and they keep having one baby after the next. They keep popping them out, and I'm not trying to be in judgmental mode, but they keep popping out all these kids, one after another, so they can get a bigger welfare check, so they can get more child support or whatever it is that they can get from the system. Whatever it is that they want to take full advantage of all the resources they can get out of the system. So they just keep popping out one baby after the next. Well, I never had that mindset. After my second son was born, and I know some people come on my comment sections and various different videos I've done, and if you were struggling with the first one, what you have another one for? If you know you were struggling with the first one, why'd you have the second one? I hate that comment. I just hate that comment. But you know what? I took care of my sons, and I worked very hard to take care of both of my sons with very little help from their fathers. Okay? Because I worked. I worked really hard. So make that comment all you want. But at the end of the day, I took care of my sons. Blood, sweat, and tears. Okay? I went to work. Yeah, I got some help, but most of the bills and everything that was taken care of came out of my pocket. Okay? One father got a little help, other father, no help, except for an occasional child support payment, which, in a larger scheme of things, wasn't really that much money. Okay? So I took care of my children myself for the most part because I went out and worked. Okay? So you can say all you want. If you're struggling with the first one, why would you have another one? That's all right because I took care of my kids. I womaned up and I did what I had to do. After I had my youngest son, I got my tubes tied and I said I'm not having any more kids because I didn't want to keep popping out babies and get sucked into the system because I'm not a complacent person, because I didn't want to depend on the welfare system, and I wanted to try to do everything I could to get off of the system. I wasn't going to keep popping out one baby after the next. That was definitely something I did not want to do. And so I made a decision to tie my tubes. After that, um, I took it a step even further a few years later and closed up shop. So I didn't put myself in a position to where I was going to be in that situation again, to where I was going to be carrying a baby by someone that, wasn't going to be there or wasn't my husband. I said, I am not going to be I'm not going to continue to be stuck on stupid and putting myself in this situation. So, and that's the problem, that there are women out there that have that problem. They just keep popping out all these kids and they just get sucked deeper and deeper into the system. Because as I stated in some of my other videos, the more kids you have, the deeper into poverty you are going to sink. It's going to be that much more difficult for you to get out of poverty the more children you have. And that's the problem with these women when they're having all these kids. They get deeper and deeper into poverty, and they get to the place where that's the only thing they know how to do is get food stamps and full benefits, Section 8, get whatever it is that they can get out of the system, because they don't know what else they can do to get out of the system. Because the more children you have, the deeper into poverty it's going to sink you. You're going to get sunk deeper into poverty. And that's why I've stated on some of my other videos that, and I actually did a whole video talking about that, the more children that women have, the deeper into poverty it sinks them. They go deeper into poverty. So it's not a good idea. And I am not an advocate for women popping out all these kids and just getting all these benefits, not trying to do anything. I mean, if you know after two children that you are going to struggle to take care of, and you know the fathers, you're not married to either of the fathers. In my case, I was not married to either of the fathers, and I realized that I had to take the necessary precautions to prevent any further pregnancies, because I knew that if I kept getting myself in that situation, that it was going to be more difficult for me to try to get out of poverty. And that was my goal, was to try to get out of poverty. Unfortunately, I'm still not out of it, but I'm not going to go into all that. But that was my goal, is to become self-sufficient. Never was my intention to have a bunch of babies, stay on the system, and not try to do anything to try to get out of the system and out of that poverty mindset of dependency, you know. And that's the problem that a lot of those women are having when they popping out all these kids. That's the problem that a lot of them are having. They're stuck in that poverty mindset, and they're stuck in that mindset of dependency to the point to where they feel like, okay, well, I'm gonna get what I can get, you know. And it makes a lot of people mad. It angers a lot of people, a lot of taxpayers, and things like that. Because, first of all, you know, we should be doing things God's way, and we should be having children in the context of a marriage. And even when you have them when you're married, you shouldn't have a bunch of children if you can't afford them, even if you're married. If you know after one or two kids that, you know, your money's tight, then okay, take cautions to talk to your mate and be like, okay, well, we probably should stop at two, because financially we're just not going to be able to afford any more kids. That's being responsible. I think that I made the responsible decision, despite what people say. If you struggle with one, would you have another one for it? I still felt like I made the responsible decision after my second child to, well, okay, I better smarten up and not put myself in this situation anymore, uh, because I did not want to be one of these, as they call, welfare queens. I didn't want to be one of these people that's just sitting up on the system, just collecting checks and all this kind of stuff. Because that's just not no way to live. You know, it's just not no way to live. And I've had things that I wanted to do in my life. Still got things that I want to do, and I know it's not too late. Um, I always had things that I wanted to do in my life, and goals that I wanted to accomplish, and things like that. But you got some people out here, they don't have no goals. They're literally stuck in the poverty mindset, and they have no goals. Their goal is just to exist. Well, I have an issue with just existing. I don't want to just exist. See, I have a problem with just existing. I don't want to just exist. I want to live. Okay, that's a problem when you're just existing. I don't want to just exist. But some people have no problem with just existing. You know, they just get complacent, and then it's no good. It's no good. It's no good to be totally dependent on the system, because yeah, it does take away from people that really need the help in a temporary situation where they lost their job, or they had some kind of other financial misfortune to where they need the system, because that's the way the system is set up. That's the way it should be set up, to where people need the help. They need a leg up. They're trying to do the best they can, but but even when working, they're struggling to cover the basic necessities. They need a leg up. There's nothing wrong with that. And for people that lose their job or have a job loss or a layoff or something like that, those people need the help. And that's what the system is supposed to be for. But it's not supposed to be for people to just be popping out one baby after another and not trying to do anything for themselves, not trying to go to work or anything like that, not trying to do anything to improve their lives, or not trying to take the necessary precautions to keep preventing from having other kids, you know. And so if we have an overabundance of those people that are doing that, then that's going to take away from the people that really do need the help, that really need that leg up and really does need the help. So that's the issue that a lot of people are having. And I don't advocate that at all. I've done many videos talking about women having children outside of marriage and all that. I go back and check them out. Done many videos talking about that. I don't advocate that at all. I don't support that, and I don't advocate that at all. But I believe in people getting help if they're trying to do everything they can to help themselves, and they're doing the best they can. Then yeah, I am an advocate of those people getting the help that they need. You know, because I was in that situation for many years myself. If you're doing the best you can, but you just having a hard time and you need some help, I'm a I'm in full support of those people getting the help that they need. But the people that are just having, but we don't want that, at the same time we don't want the children to suffer either. But the people who are just having popping out all the kids, they on a different mindset, and they do take away from the people that really do need the help. So it's not good. It's not good to be dependent on anything. It's not good to be dependent on the welfare system. Now that the government is making all kinds of cuts, and the women that are stuck in these situations with a lot of children, um, I don't know what they're gonna do. You know, because I knew this time was coming, and so it's not good. It's not good to be dependent on the government for anything. The two people that we should be dependent on, and that's God and ourselves. And that's where a place where I wanted to be. I want to depend on God, and I want to depend on myself, not any other agencies or whatever like that. Because we know the government, we all know the government is flighty. One day they're doing this, next day they're doing something else. So anyway, that's this what I was meditating on and marinating on. So let me know what you think in the comment section of welfare. My topic, welfare dependency. People being dependent on the system. You know, they want to have kids and expecting the system to take care of the kids that they have, and they're not taking any responsibility of trying to prevent from having all the kids, and they want to be dependent on the system. Let me know in the comment section if you don't have a problem with people that are working and they're out here doing the best they can, getting the help, or you just don't you feel the system shouldn't be in place at all. Now keep in mind, if the system wasn't in place, the children would suffer. Okay, and there's a lot of problems when children are suffering. There's a lot of problems that come with along with children are suffering. Stay tuned. I'm gonna do another topic. I'm gonna do a whole nother topic talking about that. But so let me know. Weigh in on the comment section. Let me know what you think about welfare dependency, people being totally dependent on the system, and they don't seem to have a problem with it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Keep your comments respectable and be nice. But stay tuned. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. I need to get to the 1,000 subscribe mark. So I need you guys to help me. So if you like this video and you like my content, I got some other content on here that you will enjoy as well. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Because I noticed that in some of my other videos, I've been looking back at some of my older videos, and the one I did on the Section 8, I think it was something to do with Section 8. I got over 8,000 hits on that video. But I'm like, okay, I got 8,000 hits, but why come people just didn't subscribe to my channel? Yeah, at least the people that like the video should have subscribed to the channel. And so that's the problem. If you watching my video, you like what you see, because a lot of times I watch people's videos and I like, oh, I like this video, I like this person, and then I go ahead and hit that subscribe button after watching one video. So if you like this video, I promise you I got other videos in here too that you might like. And I got some other good video topics coming up. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Help a sister out. Okay, and make sure you hit the notification bell. Just help a sister out. Come on now. Help a sister. Okay. I gotta get out of here so I can get my dinner started. Think about what I said. I got some more interesting video topics coming up. Stay tuned. Peace and love. Sweet June.